since Star Wars Day is literally right around the corner, we have the brand new Lego Pass. And this is actually $1,400 and it gives you a ton of stuff. So just taking a look at what we actually get in here, we get a ton of decorations that we're obviously going to go over in the game itself in a minute. And we even get some awesome, gigantic buildings. But just going through this, we have the Tatooine Spice of Life. We have the circuit bedroom, the turrets and tanks, the spa, the glassware, the serving station, the hazardous removal, the Mos Eisley lanterns. We have the Mos Eisley essentials, the blue milk bar, which this is super awesome to me. We even have the marketplace, which we just showed off a second ago. But down here, actually on the paid tier, because up here at the front, these are actually the free ones, and down here we have the paid version. So this is gonna be in the $1,400. This is what's gonna be included in that. So here we have the Mos Eisley homestead. We have the Hope. We have the garage, we have the kitchenette, the Mos Eisley emporium, the dining room, the Mos Eisley tower, the vapor, and the large garage, which is, oh my gosh, these look so good. And I just realized this ends in 80 days. This is an 80-day pass. This is quite literally a regular battle pass. So we're actually going to start seeing some legitimate battle passes in Lego Fortnite, and that is so cool. So let's go ahead and decide if this Lego battle pass is worth it or not. Let's do this upgrading right now. And obviously, we get Chewbacca as well with this really cool emote. So let's take a look at Chewie because he is in the bundle as well. The first part we got to look at is this giant molded piece that goes over the torso and the back. I love the printing here. It looks exactly kind of like the Chewie we've got in the past. There is a zero leg and arm printing, which I kind of wish they would have added because this is a really cool skin. But we do get some little Wookiee hair all over. Whoa! Oh my gosh, what the freak? What the freak? That's so cool. That's so cool. Whoa. Well, y'all got a little pre-show before we actually do this. This is so cool. As we're just looking at all of this, we have the Mos Eisley things right here, which is super cool. We have the Mos Eisley homestead. We have the Dusty Durrr. It looks so cool. We have the emporium, the garage, the cantina, which is, I'm super excited to build the cantina. We have the market, the tower, and then the large garage. So let's obviously go ahead and start with the Mos Eisley homestead. So when it comes to this build, it actually uses a lot of the new materials, so you're gonna have to actually get a lot of that to make any of these builds, but this is such a simple, easy build. Honestly, really enjoyable. And boom, this thing is done. The first thing we wanted to show off, because you probably won't see this very often, is this little dome on the very top, and I love the part usage here. It looks fantastic, and in this case, normally I don't like that the tops of the ceilings or the floors or whatever these are, the roof of it has these like little cracks in it, but I think that it makes so much sense in this scenario since it is Star Wars related. But the door, it even has this nice little like kind of droid window you can kind of look through, a nice little extended window that goes on the side. We have these nice curved edges. I love these porthole windows that are actually these circles. That looks fantastic. The color scheme here is very cool. I mean, obviously we have the sand, but we also have the texture details kind of just made out of like random stuff you would find in the desert, like this little random brick, the nice little like kind of tan pieces. Hey, I just love the texture here. It looks so good. And right here we even have like kind of looks to be like a circuit board. So that's a different piece altogether. And then right here, when you slide the doors open, it does exactly like the Anarchy barn does and actually slides open. But in this case, it does it even better. And on the inside, we do just get that nice little domed roof. You can actually put something right there on the top. But this thing is very spacious. And a lot of the times in the builds, they have these weird angles inside. And this is just a nice little rectangle. And I think this does a great job. And up next, the Dusty Durrr. While building this, it was quite a fun build. There's not a lot happening, so it does use a lot of the same pieces as the other one does. You're gonna need a lot of that new sandstone stuff, so make sure you stack up on a lot of that if you're building this in survival. The build itself was not hard at all. It is basically one story. The only problem you might have to do is getting on the very top to place some of those barriers, but other than that, very enjoyable. And boom, the Dusty Durrr is complete. And obviously we know what the normal Durrr looks like, especially the one from the Durrr bundle. This is such a cool variant on the Durrr. It has all these like little technology pieces in it. The eyeballs are even sticking out even more, and I don't know why, but I love that. We even have a droid on the top as well as a radar dish. The base of this is also super cool with these nice little elegant details. You honestly just wouldn't see anything other than this bundle. I love the extra little sides of this that kind of raise up. And again, we have some of these portholes. In the very front, we even have a window that you can even jump through in case you don't want to like go through the door. But I love these like circular windows that go all around. I really love this this front part because it really looks like the Millennium Falcon. I'm pretty sure that's what they were actually going with here when we actually have these like nice little raised parts in the front. But again, it's just mirrored on both sides. You can go in just like this, and just like the other one, we have a lot of space on the inside. We even have this really cool bar piece with kind of like blue and light blue textures on the inside. And up next, the Mos Eisley Emporium. This build took a little bit longer than some of the other ones just because of the size of it, but again, a lot of the sandstone in this, a lot of the same materials. It's not a super hard build. It does have a couple of stairs, so it does allow you to get up and get to those pieces a lot easier. The only problem, again, is the very big barriers on the very top of the top ceiling, so just make sure you have some form of staircase or at least know where it's at so you can place it through the bottom of the ceiling. Other than that, very enjoyable build. I really love the way that this turned out, and I love it. And boom, the Emporium is done. And again, it actually has these nice little bubbles up here at the top, and you know, there's a very conveniently placed there for sure, but this does have a nice 2-level story building here. We have some nice stairs that actually go to the very top. But going to the second story, again, has this nice little sliding door, and I love that so much. I really like this little vent window that we actually see a couple places. This even reminds me kind of like Jabba's place, and that makes sense because it is on Tatooine. But we do go through here. We have these nice little portholes right here to the side. The floor is very decked out in that nice little... This one is actually a little bit different, and especially in the darker areas, it does look a little bit different. So this is the sandstone, but it just looks a little gray in here since it is in the shade. But going to the second or the first floor, we have these nice little, again, circled portholes, this nice little sliding door, and this one actually is a little bit different than the other ones. It's just a different color. We have a nice little bar down here on the bottom. This is very cool because I'm not really sure what you can put in here just because of the size of the space, but I love that this extends out to the back. And it's random, like, weird hallway thing. I guess you could extend something to if you really wanted to, but I just really love all of the doors and stuff in here. And up next, the Mos Eisley Garage. The garage has got to be one of the easiest builds imaginable. I mean, it literally has a staircase. There's literally... It goes to the very top. There's a giant hole in the ceiling, so it's very easy to place all the builds. Again, a lot of sandstone in this, so make sure you have tons and tons of that. And boom, the Mos Eisley Garage is complete. So first of all, I want to talk about these little red and yellow things. These are actually lights, but they don't light up the colors you'd think they would. They just kind of light up just normal colors. Same thing with these. They don't really do anything. But up here at the top, I love this nice little exposed circle right here, so you can just go inside if you really wanted to. And it just looks super good. There's even 2 stories here, so if you really want to go to the top and, you know, put some decorations up here, or even like cars if you really wanted to, go crazy. We have another bubble here. We have a little door that goes on the side, as well as that weird little like hallway scary entry point. And we just have these 2 little nice openings right here. So this is supposed to be a garage. I wouldn't really recommend using it as a garage unless they fix stuff, because it used to just break everything if you put stuff in a custom garage, but maybe they fixed it, so go crazy. And now for one of the better ones, the Mos Eisley Cantina. While building the Cantina, it was a little bit rough. So there are a couple spots in here where the builds are just so compact that if you're building this a couple of times, you might get that random warning where it's basically saying you're building too much. Other than that, I do think that it looks really good. It is really not hard to build, other than some of the spots being a little tricky because they're so tightly compact. But this is going to use a lot of material, so be prepared for that. And boom, the Mos Eisley Cantina is complete. And just take a look at the top. Again, we have these nice little bubble domes up top, and this really, really, really cool open air display on the very, very top of it. It honestly just looks so fantastic. I love all the really cool like techniques and builds they use here. It just looks freaking good. But going to the very front of it, nice little door that actually opens up, and actually going around the side again, we just have these nice little textured walls and everything everywhere else. But we do have 2 doors on it, and this like little, I'm pretty sure this is where you keep the animals and stuff. I could be totally wrong. Anyways, here we have all the little booths inside of the thing, and over here we just have a nice little bar. I'm not exactly sure where the band would actually fit into this entire display here, but it just looks good. Like you can, I know there's some packs you can use to actually put some stuff in here, like the actual like tables and stuff. I wish we had Greedo and a Han Solo, because that would be freaking awesome. But on the inside, it is very, like I would say, symmetrical in the sense that it has all these nice little rooms everywhere. But it, you know, it just honestly looks super good. I will say it is a little like it's just cramped in here. Like, I know it's a Lego set, so you can't do too much about that, but it doesn't feel like there's a lot of space in here to do things with, other than these little, like, rooms right here. And now for the Mos Eisley Market. This is actually a pretty fun build. I mean, again, it was really not hard since it is only 2 stories. The bubbles and the little barriers, other than that, aren't super hard to place up. I will say, it is very, very beautiful, especially when you're building it. I mean, it just looks fantastic. Again, use a lot of the same pieces, so again, make sure you stock up on that. And boom, the marketplace is done, and this thing is actually huge. So up top, again, we have these nice little bubble domes, and in this case, we actually have a big one and a small one, as well as another big one right here. But right here, we actually have this nice little ledge, and again, we have these nice little Millennium Falcon, like, entryways, and this is actually where you can, I guess, deal business. I wonder if you can even, like, put stuff through the other side of it. Wait, let me try something. What if you do like this? Okay, so not really. I was gonna say you even use this in a multiplayer world to like kind of like role play a little bit, but I really love this like nice little booth area right here. Going along the right here, we have these nice little windows again. I love the extended parts on the outside. I love that we even have these nice little handles like sticking out. It kind of looks like a drum, honestly. But right here, we have the stairs that actually go up to the 2nd floor. Again, nice little railings right here. The lovely door that slides open. And I'm not exactly sure what this would technically be because it just has this nice little open air thing right here. So I guess you could turn this into a bedroom if you really wanted to, or anything else for that matter. But it just looks fantastic. I love all the textures on the outside, these nice little red dots. And on the inside of this wall in here, we actually have some more lights. And these actually do light up, and again, they don't actually light up red. I mean, you can see it right here. It's just normal light. It's not red light, which I kind of wish they, fixed to a degree. But going on the inside of here, again, we just have these nice little open air floor plan. And now for the Mos Eisley Tower. The tower itself was not hard to build. However, if you are doing this in survival, it might be a little tricky just for the very top part, just because it is at the very top, there's not really a staircase to go up there. So just make sure you're wary about that. But other than that, it literally builds 1 level at a time. Super easy. Honestly, very enjoyable build. And boom, the Mos Eisley Tower is completed. Oh my gosh, this thing actually looks fantastic. I mean, this thing is really huge. It has 4 stories. At the very top, we have that nice little bubble here. It doesn't have a lot of space in here. I will tell you that right now. There's not a lot of space in here to actually put realistically anything. I mean, there's a couple of spots. I guess you could do stuff like the floor, but other than that, it looks cool. It's not very functional in my opinion. But again, that looks so good. I love that it just, it's not a straight up tower like kind of the castle towers. It kind of like makes different sizes as it goes up. It looks great. I love that we have these nice little slanted pieces at the very bottom as well. The texture is everywhere. The open air plan is great. Honestly, I really like this. And for the final build, we have the Mos Eisley large garage. And just know you're gonna need a lot of space for this. And our last build honestly took forever. I feel like it probably took me about 5 minutes to actually build this in creative. So just make sure that you have all the materials in chests nearby because you are going to need a lot of them for this. But other than that, I do think it was a pretty enjoyable build. I mean, this literally took longer than a real Lego set to build. And boom, the Mos Eisley large garage is complete. But the biggest build is honestly one of the better ones for sure. I mean, this thing has a huge garage space. Up here, we actually have a couple of different of those little porthole lights, the nice little Millennium Falcon like wings on both sides right here. We have this little, whatever, I still don't know what to call that thing, but we have a little opening door right here. I love this, the nice textured windows on the sides everywhere. I mean, this thing is literally 3 stories. It is huge. It is crazy big. This thing actually even has like an entrance on both sides. So you can either come from this side or this side and park your cars or do whatever. They have a nice amount of space right here to put whatever you want in here. This would honestly be a great home in my opinion because not only does it have a lot of space, like you even have a walkway to go up to the top, another little area to go inside, another little patio right here. Go up again with these stairs. You have still a decent amount of space on this little top area. This could probably be the bedroom just because you don't take up a lot of space up here. And we even have another nice sliding door with a hole in the center if you really want to get down really quick. And you don't even take fall damage. Like, honestly, this is a very great build, but if you don't have a lot of space to put it, it could be pretty hard to get it in there. And now, let's go over decorations, and we'll get to the lights later when it actually is nighttime. Right here we have this nice little water bowl, a cool sink that you can actually use. Like, what? They kind of cooked. They cooked with this, bro. They cooked. We even have some nice little Mos Eisley cantina seats, and these are actually 2 different ones you can actually connect to make it kind of like a actual seat that you put inside. When I first built this, I thought it was a light, but no, it is actually a bench. And you can actually go ahead and sit on any of the sides right here. Like, that's really cool. Like, you can put this at a town center, just whatever you want to do. We have a couple of tables here. Here's one table. Here's one part of the bar. Here's a smaller part of the bar, and here is a slightly larger version right here. And they look very identical, but they are different. Like if you can see underneath there, two different spots. Smaller bar, smaller, and even a smaller with a little angle right there. And I love this table because this actually goes inside of all the little Mos Eisley like cantina places, but it has lights. The lights don't actually illuminate anything. They're just there. But here we have a nice little colorful bar, and this is actually a pop of color that we don't normally see, and I love that. And I accidentally skipped over this chair. We do have a nice red, yellow, and orange chair. It kind of gives us some like summer vibes. A nice little table right here, and this is very low to the ground. Like this honestly could be a rug if you really wanted to, because that's a terrible table. Here we have a little dresser drawer, a little side table, another little dresser drawer in the back. Again, a smaller version of this table back here in the back, and I really love these because they just have the lights on them. A little angled bar piece right here. Another little, this could be a table, but honestly, this just looks like scrap metal to me. We have 3 different bed variants, which are also super cool, because I really love this really big one. But this one is just cool. This honestly just looks like a tent sack. I'm not gonna lie, it looks horrible. Up on the very top, we have the durrr burger that we saw earlier, and we even have the durrr burger sign right there. Nice little like antenna satellite radio thing right here. Here's a blue milk dispenser, and I absolutely love this. We have another like little just like scrap metal, a turret, an antenna, another antenna, and another antenna, as well as a couple of antennas right here. But going on the inside of it, first thing I want to point out are these rugs. I love these rugs. I love the patterns on here. They're just so unique compared to all the other stuff. Right here we have some wall decorations. It just looks like scrap metal, and you can kind of like mix and play with these. I wish you could turn them like upside down and stuff so they don't all face the same way, but in this case it does look pretty good. We have a little gear here, and I don't think you can actually connect them, but here we actually have a hanging rack full of weaponry. Going over here we have a shelf full of like bottles, a little crowbar on top, another shelf with bottles in a little a toolbox for some reason, but here we have a little shelf with some more drinks on it, a little jug, some glasses, another little drink. These 2 studs right here are fantastic because they're actually clear and you can see the cups right there, but they just look like studs, and I love that. Another little drink, another little drink, another little drink, another drink dispenser. Here it looks like baked beans. I can't lie, this looks like baked beans to me. We have 2 flags, and right here on the side, again, it looks like scrap metal. A lot of this looks like scrap metal to me, and it looks really good in this scenario, but if you just place these in like normal builds, it's probably gonna look a little whack. But I really like these, like I'm gonna be honest with you, I like the flags enough. I really wish they were different colors though. Here we have the baked bean container with it being closed, and then we have another little drink container back here. But we're not done because we do have a storage container here. We have the simple crate that you can actually stuff some stuff in. Here we have, I don't really know what this could be. I really don't know what this is, but it does look like where you could order drinks. Again, another like little drink dispenser right here. And in the back, it kind of is, I'm pretty sure this is just like a little dresser container where you can actually put stuff on top of it. And it just, I really, really, really like these decorations. So now that it's nighttime, let's take a look at some of these lights, since, you know, you don't really see those during the day. But right here, we have a couple of the decorations here. We have this nice little hanging light, and I really love the way that these actually fold down into the middle to actually give it a little point. And I love that light. This light looks so fantastic. Here we have just a normal yellow light, a normal little yellow light, but this one is actually one you can kind of illuminate pathways with, and this actually looks pretty good anywhere. Here we have a blue light, and for me, it doesn't light up blue. For some people it might, because in the bright operations pack or whatever it was, there was a couple of like colored lights, and the red one here, as you can see, actually does light up. The blue one doesn't. It just kind of gives off a normal light for me. So it might glow blue for other people, just like the red one does. But going inside, there's a couple other things that actually light up. Here we actually have a nice little like fridge. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like a blue milk thing. Here we have these nice little hanging lights, and this is actually probably one of my favorite things out of the entire battle pass, just because I love the lights. I mean, at nighttime, it sucks to not be able to see your builds. So this is a super cool one. Here we have another one of those hanging lights that was actually outside, but this one actually sticks from the ceiling instead of from the wall. And again, same thing as this, except this doesn't actually hang down a lot. Because I'm like, you can't run through this, but you can run under this. So this one's probably better for like low hanging indoor places like this. And then another thing that kind of slightly glows is this nice little container. I mean, it doesn't illuminate anything, it just glows. But let's go ahead and talk about if these are going to be worth it. So first off, the builds are fantastic, but they do take up a lot of space. Like, I couldn't just put these all in one area just because of how much space that these things all take up. I will say, all of these builds do a great job of their theming and their source material and just everything else, and especially in the Lego stuff, I love this so much. There are a couple that I don't really necessarily like. The first build is very boring. Like, I mean, I get it because it's very small, but there's other super good detailed ones that, you know, would be a lot better than that. I will say the durrr burger is fantastic. I think that is an amazing thing. And honestly, I think the builds in this case are 100% going to be worth the 1,400 V-Bucks. Like, that's crazy not to think that. The decorations are a little iffy for me. For Star Wars fans, you'd absolutely love these and put these probably anywhere. But for us normal people that don't necessarily watch a lot of Star Wars and like consume that content, it can be a little hard to place these in our builds without really being like, it kind of looks like a scrapyard junker in here. I mean, it looks fantastic and I absolutely love it. I especially love the blue milk container. I think that is so good. But I do think the decorations get their job done. I mean, the durrr burger looks fantastic. The sign looks fantastic. I really love all the lights that illuminate and all the really special space-themed items. Like, they just look so good, and it just gives us a nice pop of color to the worlds that we might not have gotten therefore. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with any of these things. I think that they did a great job, and they cooked with this entire Battle Pass bundle. So yes, I do think that this is 100% going to be worth it. But if you're going to be getting any of the Star Wars content for the LEGO stuff, make sure to use code CJBrickles in the item shop to help directly support the channel. Seriously, thank y'all so much for watching, studs. I will see y'all later.